streaming live on 60s Bar and on I Love Los Gigantes.
Yes.
And good evening, mystery joiner, whoever you are. We can't see who you are until you write a comment. And when you comment, then we can see who you are.
Oh, Rob's in. Mr. Tav, hello to you.
Hi, Rob, how you doing?
Hello, Mr. Davis. Mick Davis is in.
That is very strange, that is.
What?
Well, I ran out of one bottle of whiskey and I've ended up with a blend.
Okay.
And it's completely different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
It's great. Well, welcome to CuaranChat, everyone. Glasses will be going on and off.
Hello, Sue. The Frizzers are in.
Frizzers are in the house.
We chatted to post last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a good old chat to post. Excuse me, I'm just going to drop you guys down a little bit there.
Yeah.
There you go. That was almost like a cut, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Almost. Hey, Dee. Dee's in.
So it is CuaranChat. We are talking about all manner of...
yes.
What's
all
the
manner
word?
of...
Rubbish.
Yes.
Yes, just rubbish. We just
Mr. Reed, Chris and Kerry.
Chris and Kerry, good to see you. All right, 60s Bar.
All right. Oh, Dee's gone posh. She's on two devices
she's on
tonight.
Two devices now. She is. That's
She's got her admin head on tonight.
It's
obviously.
quite good to see our little logo.
It is actually. Yes,
it's almost like we're watching ourselves.
Yeah,
it's incredible. So we're doing great. Thanks, Chris. We're doing absolutely magic. How's 60s Bar doing over there? Have you been in 60s Bar over there? Hi, Kay, how you doing?
Hi, Les.
Miss Sisters there, hello, Les, how you doing? No questions tonight, so you don't need a pen and paper. We're just
no questions. Unless you want to ask us any.
Yeah, you can ask us whatever you want.
We haven't got a pen and paper either.
No,
so.
But you can ask us whatever you want. Whether we answer you or not is another question.
Oh, yes.
There are certain... I've got a rogue hair.
You got a rogue hair?
Rogue hair, just one.
Is it not a tuft, is it?
No, it's a grey one though. I've got more grey hairs than the quarantine.
Hello, Alan.
Alan and Julie, how you doing? Oh, brilliant.
Left Jill and Bob to come over.
Kath from Mansfield, how you doing, Kath? Good to see you.
Kath.
Danielle, she's with us. Right, I'll tell you what we've done today. We've had a fabulous...
Oh my God, we've been so busy today.
Fabulous day today.
Today is the first time that I have been out of the village since early March.
Well, you haven't been any further than El Varadero before now. And hello Dawn, hello Marilyn, how you doing?
Today we went to the dark side, didn't we?
We did. We had to go down and sign some
we
papers.
We haven't chinked yet.
Oh, chink.
Chink.
I've got whiskey ginger, by the way.
Pink gin, Puerto de Indias. Hi Jill and Paul.
Jill and Paul, good to see you. So we went down, we had to sign a few papers for the bar down there. So we went down, which was great. And you know, I was quite surprised. I was expecting to see a lot more people, but there really weren't, were there?
There was a few milling around Los Cristianos.
Yeah, but not many.
It was a lot easier to park.
Yeah, it was quite good. Hello, Brian.
Yes.
It was quite good to park.
Hello, Brian. Brian and Anne there.
Alan and Julie are on
white wine.
White wine. Very refined.
Lovely, very refined. Oh, gosh.
Is it a dry or a sweet or I don't know? But yeah, we got down there. It wasn't super busy. There were a few people milling around.
It's been bloody hot today, hasn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah.
We've got a heat wave coming.
So then what we did was we went in search of somewhere to have a coffee. It's impossible, isn't it?
There was very few places open, and the couple that were, there was no tables, was there?
No karaoke for Chris and Kerry tonight. The neighbours would complain.
Oh, why would they complain about you?
Just invite them round. You can do it now, I think.
Just give them a bit of lip up, Fatty, eh? Hi, Janet.
Inky. Is that Inky Eater?
Yes, that's somebody I know from the Sunset Harbour from years ago.
Good Abend.
Yes.
Andy
Buds is in. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dry wine.
Andy and Karen. Dry wine. Hello, David Roston. So yeah, it was kind of almost impossible to find somewhere to go for a coffee.
So we didn't bother, did we?
Well, what we thought we'd pop to Mercadona.
Hi, Jane.
We thought we'd pop to Mercadona.
In a Zeki, yeah.
And do our shopping and have a coffee. First of all, coffee place closed.
Well, in Mercadona there was a massive queue to get in
Queues were
today.
incredible, weren't they?
It was like a normal day in the Zeki.
It was just ridiculous.
Really
well,
busy.
no, not a normal day, because they would just let them all in, wouldn't they?
Right, yeah, they would normally, yeah.
Hi,
Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy's in.
Hi, Tracy as well, Tracy Reed.
Oh, Tracy and
Two
Dave,
Tracys
brilliant.
just logged in at the same time.
That's amazing. Different names, all lovely people.
And they're both Tracy with an EY as well.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how you spell your name. Is spelled so many different ways. My name is spelled so many different ways. My name is sometimes spelt with letters that are not even in them.
That's true. I got a little bit sunburnt today.
You did? Have I cracked my glass?
I hope not. No, it's just...
No, it just felt like it. Oh, well.
So, he had a doctor's appointment today, and they were very particular. We weren't allowed in.
They've had paella.
Very Spanish.
Very Spanish.
So, I wasn't allowed in. Hi, Dave. And so I was stood outside whilst Eddie went in. They did ask you if you had a fever or a cough.
Yeah, I went to the doctors. Firstly, you can't get in. You have to wait outside until you're invited in, right? And then they says, have you got a cough? Have you got a cold? Have you got a fever?
Hi, Adam.
No, none of that. Hi, Adam. How you doing? None of that. So, you're supping. Ginger. Whiskey and ginger, mate.
Gin
Whiskey
and lemonade,
and
my
ginger.
usual...
So before I could get in the doctors, I had to answer a barrage of questions, and I kind of like it because I mean they're front line, you know.
Sonny Burry,
and they're doing okay. They're doing a real good job, and I like the fact that they just won't let you in. I mean, before you would walk in and you'd be part of the cattle market, but I walked in and it was completely empty when it was my turn. I just went straight to the surgery, sat down, and all I was there for was the results of my blood test. And I can tell you, apparently, I have got blood.
You have, and it's red.
And it's red.
Yeah. So I was at a bit of a loose end.
Who knew?
You know, what can I do whilst Eddie is in the doctor's surgery?
Can we do the quiz from the bar?
There is a bench outside, but obviously they don't really want you to sit on it.
Hiya, Sally.
And there was somebody else sat there. So I thought I'd get a few steps in, because there was like just a little block.
You only managed Claire and H, though, didn't you?
So that's what I did. I went walking, and I managed to clock up about 1.5 kilometres.
Alan says they do that in boots.
A bit of sunburn, so...
Alan says they do that in boots before they let you in.
Do they? We know somebody that works in boots.
So you clocked up 1.38 kilometres,
1.38 in the space of you getting your blood test results.
1.38 seems to be our number, doesn't it?
It is our number.
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to live at number 138. I can tell you it was Tanhouse Avenue now because I don't live there. 138. When we hi Gwen and Richard, good to see you. When we lived in Czechoslovakia, the pool depth was 138.
Yeah.
And never we lived in a house 138.
I don't think we have.
I don't know.
No.
Everywhere we look.
But everywhere we go, the number 138 crops up.
If ever I look at a digital clock, the chances are it's 138. If I look at the clock in the car, it's 138. And don't tell me to buy lottery tickets made up of numbers 1, 3 and 8.
Yeah, we tried that, didn't we?
We tried it, didn't work.
It didn't work, did it?
Hello, Carol, how you doing? It's good to see you. You're late. Well, you're not really. You're only 9 minutes.
Have you got a note?
Well, you don't need a note, really.
The late note?
It'd have to be an email, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
Yeah, you got a note. Say no more. Yeah. Well, we're going to try and phone a friend tonight who's over there in the UK, up in the north. And
he's not in the north. I think he's in Leicestershire somewhere.
Johnny, I don't think he is. He's by the sea, isn't he?
I don't know where. Do you know, when we phone him, we'll ask him.
We'll ask him.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
But I'm real good.
Yeah, he's fine, Chris. He's all right.
I mean, I've got the usual.
Not getting rid of him anytime soon.
Morning, Brian. I've got the... Morning. Morning, Brian. I've got the usual, a little bit more cholesterol, a little bit less sugar, a little bit more, grease content or whatever. But she said I'm fine.
Yeah, I looked at his results and they're all pretty much in.
I've got to go again in 6 months' time for another chase-up. Whether I go for another blood test, I don't know. Last time I went, they took nearly half an arm. You wouldn't understand that.
Half an arm?
Yeah, you wouldn't understand
Why
that.
wouldn't I understand
Well,
that?
somebody tell her what that is. My word, that's nearly half an arm. My maths teacher gave me a rollicky for counting 1, 3, 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7... and put an 8 on a complaint. What? Oh, this is great. So we're here, it's CuaranChat. We're going to try and phone a friend, put him on the speakers. You won't be able to see him, and we can't let you see him because he's an ugly git.
Yeah,
he is an ugly git. So, it's great. So what you guys been up to today?
Yeah, what's everybody been up to? What's the weather like over there and what have you been doing?
A lot of them are here, they know. Hello, Maureen.
Hi, Maureen.
We've been watching Old Dogs.
Yes.
They was great tonight, really
Maureen,
good.
I've got lipstick on your collar for Monday night.
Yes, Rob Taverner, that is very nearly an armful. Yes, Alan Doyle, it was Tony Hancock. Shall we go back to something you might understand? Like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, no! No! No!
I haven't found it
Not
yet.
again.
Hello, Jack. Jack's looking remarkably like a coconut tonight.
I thought it looked like a pineapple tonight.
Well, pineapple. There it is. Look at it.
Look at the state of that.
That is... Oh, anybody got a pair of scissors?
Nope.
Very windy in the UK. Yeah, I'd heard it's been really windy
Sue says
today.
it was... Oh, Rob's put you the link for YouTube for the blood donor with
okay.
Tony
Right.
Hancock. It's really good, actually.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
It's what they call a classic bit of comedy. He was stood down for being vulnerable. Well, don't be vulnerable. Be strong. Be a man.
Vulnerable. I love that word.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
What's with the word vulnerable?
I just like it. It's a good word.
Well, it is a good word.
Yeah, and I like
See, Stephen
elbow
says
as
it's
well.
windy as well.
Yes.
Yeah, Rob says you can watch it later.
Very
She will.
windy in Wales too, according
She
to
will.
Tracy. Yeah.
It was a classic bit. Mind you, for me, I don't think you can beat Morecambe and Wise.
Somebody's talking to you there.
Are you okay? Yes, I am. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Yes, absolutely fine. Yeah, I don't think you can beat Morecambe and Wise. I think.
Oh, Karen's been on 5:30 a.m. starts. Oh, ouch.
Oh, Karen, 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Mind you, when you're in lockdown, we think that we've kind of lost track of time, haven't we? We have. I mean, don't get me wrong.
No, we have.
Wayne, we're
Hi,
fantastic.
Wayne.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
all good today.
Stood in the queue in Asda for 25 minutes to do food shopping. Yeah, well, we've been queuing as well.
Yeah, there's
Hello,
some-
Bryn. Good to see you. Bryn is one of my quiz suppliers.
Oh, yes.
Fine man is Bryn.
Absolutely.
Brynley Thornton. What a lovely bloke. Although he's not Welsh, but there you go.
Is it not?
Oh, no. Alan is Welsh.
Alan.
Welsh Alan from the Bell. But, no,
25 degrees in London today. That's warm.
been working from
But
home.
windy.
Adam J's been working from home, which is difficult.
I know
'cause-
Sue says it's crap though, as we should be in Tenerife.
Hello, Rob's got to see more there.
And
yeah.
I wish you were in Tenerife.
I
Sue.
love Morecambe and Wise. Absolutely brilliant. Adam J's been working from home, which is difficult because he's a crane driver. No, he's not. He's not a crane driver, honestly. You're having a glass of Carver. Clarky's having a glass of
Oh, a
Carver.
glass of Carver, not Benjamin though.
And Karen's already gone to bed. Brilliant. Brilliant.
I'm not surprised if she's at work at
5:30.
5:30.
Oh, no.
That's just
too
painful.
much
That's,
for me,
that's
mate.
just wrong. Who's that trying to text you there?
That is Chris and Kerry. So that one can go into the X. And then you can
okay.
see them again, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we wish you were here as well. We wish everyone was here. Now, I've got to tell you, looks like we're going into phase 2.
We are going into phase 2 on
Next
Monday.
week. Monday.
Yes.
On phase 2.
But all the flights have been pretty much cancelled for June.
I'm really a bit confused. I
So-
don't quite fully understand what phase 2 is. You see, we're waiting to open 60s again, obviously. Hello, Paul in Britain. Did Ernie have a great birthday? Give me a thumbs up if he did. 138 kilometres. There you go.
Yeah, I've
What
done
can I say?
138 today as well. That's
the
what
way it
mine
works.
said.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we're waiting desperately to open the bar. But we've got to make sure that opening the bar is going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Not just for us, but for you guys as well.
Hi, Richard.
Because what happens here is we've got such a fantastic community, haven't we? Al?
We have.
It is brilliant.
Yeah.
And when somewhere opens, everyone tries to support. They go down and they support. Now, the sad thing is that support is a double-edged sword, because we had one bar in the port that was that well supported that the police went down because they'd exceeded
Yes.
their numbers.
Yeah.
And as much as we would like the support to continue, who wants to be the person who stands there at the door of their bar and says, listen, thanks for coming down and showing your support, but we
thanks.
can't let you in.
We can't
Because,
let you in,
and
yeah.
you know, it's a double-edged sword. So we've got to wait and see when the time's right
Yeah. And
to
also,
reopen.
also, because nobody's coming at the moment, obviously, and then nobody's going to come until at least July. The more places that open, that's there's barely enough people to go around the ones that are open. So,
You see, Maureen's absolutely right. Maureen just says we need everyone to come back
we
because
do.
it is
really quiet.
so quiet here.
Yeah.
Sue Frisbee says that Jet2, she's just read today that Jet2 aren't cancelling any more flights from the 1st of July, which is kind of
change
great.
between now and then, though. You just never know.
If only the UK had sensible system like the Spaniards do. Well, you see,
this is another thing. When they do let people back in, if the figures are still really bad in the UK, then they're not going to let people here, are they?
Hello, Sandra. The thing is, though, we touched on this last week. It's very much a double-edged sword, in as much as this island has got very low figures, and there is a likelihood that we could contain it. But once it's contained, are the Spanish government going to want to let people back in to reinfect the island? It's an open question.
Yeah.
Having said that, this is where the double edge comes in, right? This island needs the tourism.
Yeah, we depend on
to
tourism.
survive.
We do.
We are a holiday destination.
Yeah.
And another thing is the UK. Everybody goes on that the UK aren't adhering to the rules. Well, I think, in all honesty, the majority.
I think the
of
majority
you
are. Yeah.
It's just the few idiots who think that they're above the law or they're immune to the coronavirus that is spoiling it for everyone.
I mean, there is some here as well. It's the same here. You get the odd.
Let me explain it to you like this, right? And this is what fake news, if you like. If I wanted to say our bar was full every night, I could film it from an angle that made it look full. It wouldn't necessarily be full, but the camera angles and what I tell people would portray the image that it was full. And the same is true of the news. If you got 5 or 6 people flaunting the rules in a park, for instance, and they film them from one angle, film them from another angle. It's
very easy.
They can cut it together to make it look like a lot of people, and it's not necessarily a lot of people. However, the people that are flaunting the rules, I think they should just be locked up.
It's just going to make the process take longer, isn't it?
Just lock them up.
Yeah. Tracy says, does anybody still remember what Brexit was all about?
I had breakfast this morning. Brexit.
Brexit. Yes.
Is that a chocolate bar?
Brexit.
What
is Linda Miller? Melinda Miller's here.
Hello, Miller.
Hi,
so,
Linda.
I mean, at the end of the day, you really have to look at fake news, discard a lot of it.
Yeah, you do.
And look, the majority of people, every single person on here is saying, Bob, that's it.
Wayne's just wearing the face masks up. I've been very busy.
Go get your face mask.
Go and get my face mask.
She's been busy. She's been making face masks.
I had to go and get new thread today from my sewing machine. I ran out.
I'll tell you something else as well. From today, it's mandatory to wear face masks when you're outside, unless you can't social distance or something. I don't know the exact rule on that, but we all have to wear face masks. And I'll tell you something.
There they are. Look at those musical. Well, they don't play music, but obviously they.
Show the top, people. Yeah, look at that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I'll put it back on.
Shut up.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's very much a thing. We've got to wear face masks now, and I don't think that's a bad thing, But
that's what they tell us. We've got to do it.
Now they're saying that they're going to wear face masks on planes, but I was always under the impression that the same air circulated.
This isn't true.
But someone told us the other day.
Yeah, I've read it as well.
That they've had to change all the air circulation systems. Well,
thanks, Sue.
They look so much better when she's got it on. So Wayne wants to know.
Wayne, I think you did comment actually when I put that. Yeah. I hadn't quite figured out.
Yeah, Jane's at it as well.
Yeah.
But someone was telling me, in fact, I think it was Jane who was telling me that they've had to change all the filtration systems on aircraft now so that the air's not circulated around. But I'm totally confused by phase 2. Well, I was confused by phase 1, to be honest.
You're just confused.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, we are talking to... Excuse me, I'm just putting a little fan on here. We are talking to... people in the UK and people in Spain.
Masks.
And the thing is, we hear it from both sides of the coin. Mm-hmm. We hear a lot of people in the UK yelling the odds that people are idiots and everything. Well, by and large, I don't think they are. I think by and large, they're kind of adhering to the rules.
Most people are sensible, aren't they?
Can I wear my boxer shorts? Well, Chris, that's not a pretty sight.
I think he means
your
boxer short mask.
I know what he means. Should we get them? Should we get a pair of boxer? I'll do it in a minute, Chris. We'll get some boxer shorts. They're awful, ain't they? You need your wipers on your glasses. I know. I'll be away. Now the wine bar's open. Are you going to be singing for them at the wine bar?
Well, I'm hoping so in the not too distant future.
You see, there's another thing, isn't it? Eh? You would go and sing down the wine bar for nothing, wouldn't you?
I would, yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
But does that actually help the wine bar? Because if there's an attractant on, the idea of putting an act on is to attract more customers into your venue.
Yeah.
But at this present moment in time, if you attract too many customers,
yeah,
then you're not doing the owners any favours.
I was thinking of maybe asking Dodie whether I should maybe do my live from there on Monday. But I don't know how good their internet connection is. We'd have to check it out, wouldn't we?
Right, somebody's asked if we're going to do the quiz from the bar when we get back.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
We are. We're going to start doing the quiz from the bar. We're going to live stream the quiz.
Hi,
hello,
Moira.
How you doing?
Hi,
Moira
Mick.
Dixon. Mick. Good to see you, Mick. Mick and Pat over there.
Yeah.
Brilliant. They do cause a problem with the
Yeah,
vision.
they make your glasses steam up, don't they, these masks?
Do you know, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Where was I today? Oh, yeah, when we had to go and sign them papers. They gave me hand wash and hand wipe and sanitiser. I mean, I'm living on sanitiser. I've got the cleanest hands in Christendom, I have, but, you know. And then they gave me something to read, and I've got my mask on and my glasses, and all of a sudden my glasses are turning white.
Yeah.
And what do? You can't take your glasses off because then you can't read it. You can't pull your mask down because you... Yes, but for those who have booked a table at the bar, it would. You're quite right.
Yeah, it would,
for the people that have pre-booked, it would be great entertainment.
You know,
but you see, from an owner's point of view, you're then in a position where you've got to put somebody on the door saying, no, we're at capacity, no, we're at capacity. But what do you do?
Yeah, maybe in a couple of weeks we'll see.
I don't know. We're going to start doing more of our nightly reports on location.
Yes.
Quarantining from the wine bar would be great. It'd be brilliant. It'd be absolutely
really
brilliant.
Yeah.
We are going to start doing more online from the bar. We might even have a karaoke night online on the bar. That'd
That would
be
be
cool.
interesting. How would we do that?
Well, it would be easy, wouldn't it? Because I'd just put it through a computer and send a lead from the desk to the computer. Yeah, I could do that.
Maureen, I can't read labels in the supermarkets because I'm steamed up. I know.
Yeah, well, Maureen, you shouldn't drink that much before you go to the supermarket.
We were in
to
Lidl's.
be honest.
We were in Lidl's today, weren't we? And there was one.
I don't think she means that sort of steamed.
There was one member of staff really showing his authority, wasn't there? There was a woman in there, and she didn't quite have her mask over her nose.
Yeah.
And he decided.
Is there, madam, lady, mask on face, mask on face.
Yeah, but when we got to the till, the guy behind the till didn't have his mask over his nose.
No. Anything
jobs worth.
Yeah. Well, do you know, I've got a feeling that the bar could become a really big watch. I mean, we wouldn't do it all the time. We wouldn't do it impromptu. There would be certain times.
Yeah.
Like, we might do, I don't know, 10 till 11 karaoke on Saturday nights
and
or
he
something
says anything
like that.
you can stream from the bar will be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, still need and want entertainment in bars and restaurants.
That was actually
Crikey,
Sue.
Kerry, we do actually still need and want entertainment, absolutely.
Oh gosh, do you know, I mean, our bar runs on entertainment. I mean, even when there's no entertainment on, there is still a form of entertainment. And the entertainment is you guys and us. And when we go, because we will talk. Hi Dave. No writing. Oh, you can write it. You can do it tonight.
Yeah,
you can write in the comments tonight. This is brilliant. But you know, I mean, our bar, even when we're not singing or doing a quiz or what have you, we love to sit and talk to people, and in itself, that's a form of entertainment, isn't it?
It is.
So it's one of them things. So Adam, you're one of our singers in the bar. He's cool, isn't he?
Yes.
He's a good lad. We like Adam.
Yeah,
we like Adam.
yeah.
What's his favourite song?
Fleetwood Mac, Go Your Own Way now.
No, that was it a George Michael thing? Oh, he likes that one, don't he? He likes Go Your Own Way. Brilliant. But yeah, it's great. I'll tell you what's been happening recently. A lot of people have been working together around these areas, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, Cliff Jones, is it Cliff Jones or Cliff Parr Jones?
It's
Cliff Jones.
Cliff Parr Jones. Cliff Jones.
Well, Cliff. He started an internet thing, a YouTube thing with his photography. Been absolutely brilliant.
Elaine Collier says, "Hi, I hope you're both okay. How long have you lived in Tenerife?"
Well, we'll tell you that one in a moment.
Okay, we'll answer that in a second.
But what's happened is Cliff has started working with Shelley at Delmar, and they are producing some fabulous videos for the properties that they've got available. So you ought to go on YouTube and look up Cliff Jones Photography at Delmar and see what Cliff's been doing with them. It's brilliant that everybody's working together. How long have we lived in Tenerife?
Well, we left the UK to live in Tenerife. Well, no, we left the UK
For 6 months?
for 6 months.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
22?
No, it's about 20 years.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about 20 years. So we left the UK. I think it was 1999 or 2000. Because we had a 6 months. Yeah, I know. We had a 6 month contract in Mallorca. 6 months in Mallorca turned into 4 years. And then we came over here 16 years ago.
Absolutely right, Andy.
And we've been here ever since. So there you go.
Jack was born here.
He was.
But it's just a great place to be. When we left Mallorca...
We had the most horrendous journey, didn't we?
Yeah, the journey was terrible. But when we left Mallorca, we found a little bit of an adjustment period, didn't we? They're two completely different islands.
Absolutely, yeah. So different.
But
the beaches are nicer in Mallorca. They're much nicer.
The beaches in Mallorca
they're beautiful.
are absolutely fabulous, all of them. But here there's a lot of black sand beaches.
And we still have a lot of friends over there too.
Yeah. But here, this is where we live now, isn't it?
It's where we are, yeah.
Whether it's where we're going to end up...
Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, I could end up living in 60s bar.
Yeah,
in Chris's garden.
In Chris's garden, yeah.
But yeah, Maureen's complaining now that I've started because Bob and Jill have been telling everybody she's got a drinks problem from lockdown to rehab.
Would we ever go back to the UK to live?
Well, do you know something? I've got to tell you that
at the moment, no.
No, but the thing is, we've always said that that's a very open question because you never know. I mean, we nearly did. A few years ago, we put our house on the market. We sold the car.
That's a big old question from Wayne.
Zeroed our stuff down to zero, and then Hollie decided she didn't want to go back to the UK. And so we had to go and buy another car, take the house off the market.
Wayne, that's a really nice text. I hope when you reopen your bar, the 60s bar of course, you will get to see a lot of people for what you have done on here to pass the time for people who are on their own. So when I do come out at Christmas, I love to buy you two a drink just to say thank you for what you have done since the lockdown. Thank you, Wayne, that's really nice.
But yeah, I mean, would we go back to the UK? We didn't nearly sell up and everything. Hollie decided she didn't want to go, so we rebought everything and restarted our
I know, our house
here.
was so minimal, wasn't it? It was lovely.
Nothing. But the thing is, you never know what's around the corner.
You don't never know.
You see, we do the lottery every week. Now, our lottery, what we spend on the lottery is the same as what everybody spends on the lottery. Now, if the lottery came up for us, and there's no reason why it shouldn't, I can't speak for Hollie, but I know exactly what I do. She knows what it is as well.
Yeah, I know what I do, yeah.
And I think she's kind of on board with this idea.
Thanks, Chris.
Because what I would do is I would buy a bigger house here and put a car in the garage. I would buy a bigger house in the UK and put a car in the garage. And I would put a house in America and put a car in the garage.
Florida. We love Florida.
But what I would do then is I would spend 3 months here, a month on holiday. 3 months.
We'd buy somewhere in Porto Palenza as well.
3 months.
That is my favourite place.
Okay, 4. But 3 months here and a month on holiday, that would take my year up, which is great.
Oh, it's lovely.
What that would mean
is
because I'm living less than 90 days in any one country, my taxes are lower, so my money goes further. I would obviously look after my family and friends and spend the rest of my life just travelling around the houses that I own. Simple as that.
There you go, job done.
Can't be bad. But would we go back to the UK? You never know what's around the corner.
Yeah, at the moment, no, but
Well, a friend of
never know, do
ours owns 18 bars in Worcester, and he offered us a bar.
Yeah.
Anyway, when you were working for Power FM, were you a presenter? Well, I was a presenter. Hollie was also a presenter.
I was, yes.
But I was also station controller. I was in charge of transmission.
Yeah. Who was that then, Alan?
I was in charge of
Puerto de la Cruz.
I was in charge of output and stuff like that, programming. And then we had someone who was in charge of finance and things like that. You know, I mean, Power FM, what a great outfit that was. Sadly, it came to an end.
Yeah, it was
we
good.
didn't think it was going to,
No,
but it did. But there's some great radio stations around here at the moment. I'm a little bit upset that John's not doing Atlantis anymore, because I liked Atlantis. It was a good station, excellent station. But yeah, any more questions? Keep throwing them our way. We'll answer anything. We're not proud, are we, Gav?
Absolutely not.
We're not proud. Well, I'm still waiting for stuff through the post. I've ordered myself a new mic stand, a new camera.
Pardon?
You know what I'm talking about. I'll explain that one later, but you do know.
Yeah.
I would like some more equipment. I'm looking for a new... If anybody's got...
A sump for a faculty.
No, not a sum for a full
Oh,
quarter.
right.
If anybody, I know who you're talking about. If anyone's got an Apple Mac that they don't want, throw it my way.
Well, you're going to make a live call tonight?
Yeah, go and see if you can get him online. We'll see if we can get him. I think that's on Bluetooth. We're going to try.
Should we just try playing some music first to make sure it works?
Yeah, but it might be a different system, so just call him,
It
see what
should
happens.
work. It should
If
work.
not, I'll unplug a plug there and
Yeah,
I'll plug it
let's
into
just
there.
try playing something.
We remember when they were in Mar Blanco? Yes, of course. That was the kind of round the back, but in the middle. What happened to the radio station you voiced earlier in the lockdown? Well,
It's on, but it's not very loud. You need to turn it up.
it's a work in progress, Mick, and I am working on it. It is on air at the moment. Hang on a second. Okay, that'll do, because we don't want to be cut off. And I'll sort that out. It is in progress. A little bit of a complication. You can tune in. It's just playing background music at the moment, and you can find it on swallowsfm.net. And there's no website, it's just a player that you can play. swallowsfm.net.
What are we doing? We're calling them then?
Let's try and call a friend.
Okay,
right?
here we go.
Now, we've not done this before, and we don't even know if it's going to work.
We've not got your gimbal yet, Chris. That won't do.
Where'd you get a gimbal?
Have you ordered it? Are you
So,
still
Mick, yes,
waiting?
the radio station is in the offing.
Right, he's answered. Here he is.
Now, have we... Oh, are you
Hello? Hi, John. Hello.
Right.
Hang on a minute.
Hang on, 'cause-
You're live on Facebook.
So hang on a second, I'm going to have to unplug that.
Yeah, but we need to turn up the volume.
Stick that one in there.
Right, hold on.
Oh, this is all gone. It's all gone haywire. We're trying to get John on the speaker here, right? Now, guys,
Right.
we're going to be talking. Are you there, John?
You need to turn it up on
Hang on.
there, though.
Can you hear us?
That's it. Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, and I think everybody can hear you as well. Now, this guy who we've got on the phone at the moment is our very good friend, Johnny Laugh, right? And you used to live here, didn't you, John?
Sorry, I lived in Tenerife. Yes, I lived in Tenerife for my sins.
For your sins, well, mate, you've got lots and lots of sins, but we don't want to talk about them. And the reason we've got John on tonight is
Where's
because...
it gone?
Are you still there?
Yeah, it keeps coming off.
I'm going to turn your camera off.
Turn your camera off, just talk to us, okay? And the reason we've got John there at the moment is because, like a lot of you guys, he's in the UK. Now, John's an entertainer, right? And I'll tell you what John does. John, now you may have seen him or not, John has got a fabulous show where he is Mrs. Brown. And how's that going for you, John?
Well, it was going brilliant till the lockdown, but yeah, it was doing weddings, bingo halls, clubs, just different stuff really, and I'm doing a keep fit class.
So, you're doing a Mrs. Brown's Keep Fit class online at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, it's on Facebook. In fact, tomorrow at 2:30.
So listen, guys, if you feel like keeping fit
With Mrs. Brown.
with Mrs. Brown, what's the page called, John?
It's just Johnny Laugh.
I'll
Johnny-
put the link in the comments box
Yeah,
when
Johnny
we share
Laugh
the video.
Facebook.
Yeah, it's Johnny
Yeah.
Laugh. Johnny,
It's
Johny,
2:15. Ready?
Laff.
Yeah, LAFM.
2:15.
2:15, yeah.
That's a
2:15?
That's a bit precise, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Now, Johnny Laugh has
Oh,
also
well.
been doing a lot of live videos and he's raised a lot of money for charity just lately as well. What have you been doing, John?
Right, for a start, I dyed my hair blue.
You dyed your hair blue. Yeah.
Yeah, and raised about £900
Yeah.
for NHS
Yeah.
James Paget Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then through Potters, who I work for quite regularly, doing my own show, Mrs. Brown Show,
Yeah.
we've raised, with everybody, all the show team, the other comics in the show, we raised £22,000.
Fantastic.
And I had my head shaved.
So you've lost all your blue hair now.
Yep, I've
So
got
you,
no
don't,
hair.
so you don't look like Marge Simpson anymore.
No.
So, John,
He was saying to me, I was like, Mrs. Slocum,
yes. And how's your pussy?
kept asking how my pussy was.
So you've raised like well over £25,000 by shaving your hair and dyeing it blue and all this sort of stuff.
Not just me. Sue was instigating it. Sue was the one who said about dyeing my hair blue, my wife. And then Sue cut my hair.
And you know something? I think you deserve a knighthood.
I think
Really?
you deserve a medal, if nothing else.
No,
Well, I've
Fantastic.
got thousands of them.
thousands of medals or knighthoods.
Oh, I don't want anything, mate.
So you and you guys have raised 25,000 for the NHS,
Yeah, and also it's a thing called NARS as well,
right?
which is first response vehicles.
Brilliant.
They're giving away 2 already.
You see,
If somebody has an accident, they go there. They're volunteers, as paramedics, and they go first to the accident. And if they can't sort it out, they then get an ambulance.
all right, got you. Good. So they're first response vehicles.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now listen, John. I know you do Mrs. Brown, but you haven't always been Mrs. Brown. You've always been a top flight comedian. How did Mrs. Brown
Well,
come
that's top
about?
flight.
Yeah, you have. In my books, you've been top flight. But how did Mrs. Brown come about?
Well, it's really weird. Just I do stand up. You see me work with Hollie every Sunday in Tenerife.
Yeah, we did it every Sunday
Sunday
night.
night.
Yep,
Well, we had a great time, didn't we?
we certainly did. It was great days. Yeah.
Fantastic times. And I was at Potter's one night doing the show, and I found a wig on the table. It looked like Mrs. Brown's wig, so I put it on and mucked about. I went, hello, how are you? Lovely to see you. And they're going. One of the girls went, Rachel, she said, you've got to do that in the show.
And it was that simple.
Yeah. And what I did, I went out in Great Yarmouth in what they call a joke shop. There's a Mrs. Brown outfit. So I brought it, didn't tell anybody, got dressed up, and they said, oh, ladies and gentlemen, stage Johnny Laugh. And I'd already cued the sound guys at the Mrs. Brown thing. Now, at the time, I hadn't got any material for it. So I just waffled. Mrs. Brown. And then
You're
I got they suggested
good at
I-
waffling.
Oh, I waffle like a waffle finger.
Oh, mate, I know. I've seen your lives. I'll tell you. So let me get this right then. You found a wig on the table. You went to a joke shop and bought a Mrs. Brown costume.
And you winged it.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, well, I mean, then they said to me, we need to get the costume. So Sue, my wife, she went online. But bear in mind, she's never been in show business. And she sourced some dresses, cardigans, had a wig made by a girl who worked for the BBC. She made the proper wig, business wig. Then we got the shoes from a charity shop, had aprons made, and just so it looks authentic.
Excellent.
Brilliant. And what does your wife?
Sue.
How does your wife feel about living with a transvestite?
Hi, Stu.
Oh, she's used to it.
Well, listen, John, I've got to tell you, your signal is not super clear. It is cracking up at the moment. But, mate, can we talk to you again in the future?
Whenever you want, Eddie, just let me know.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
So, listen, guys.
So 2:15 tomorrow.
2:15 tomorrow. We'll share the link on our page.
We're going to share the link on our
If
page.
anybody comes on, just mention you and Hollie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real.
So, guys, go and have a look at Johnny Laugh tomorrow at 2:15. The page is called Johnny Laugh. Laff. We will put the link on and go and see him 2:15. It's Keep Fit with Mrs. Brown, which is going to be fun. Johnny, thanks very much for joining us.
Cheers, mate.
Take
You
care.
take care, both of you.
And I'll
Stay
call you.
safe.
I'll call you later. Stay safe, my friend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I almost feel like we should have a round of applause machine now, which would be great.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
Stu. Stu Prentice is watching.
Hi, there's Janet and Derek. They should have been coming out today, I
They
think.
should have been out today.
Yes, I think it was today.
That was not a brilliant connection on
Not
that
a great
was it?
signal, was it?
No,
We'll have to
well-
sort that out, won't we?
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
So, Chris has just said he's still not got a gimbal. Well, Chris, why? Why haven't you got a gimbal? That's the question.
Have you ordered a gimbal? Are you waiting for it? Or are you just...
Do you need one? Or do you want one just because I've got one? That's the question. Oh, lots of questions to be
Lots
asked.
of questions.
Lots
yes.
of questions. Going back to how we got to live here in Tenerife, we left Mallorca. I think it was in February.
It was February.
Yes.
Yes.
And I've got to say, we packed our house up. We put all of our belongings in storage with a company that transported
Yep.
them from one place to the other. We had got ourselves and what we could get into a Renault Kangoo.
Yes.
And we set out
It was packed, that
to
car,
come.
wasn't
It was, yeah. We set out. He is an absolutely
Yeah, he is.
lovely
He's
chap.
a lovely guy. He's a
Go
good
and watch
friend.
him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, Dee's got a gimbal. Yes, she has. Chris, Dee's got a gimbal. But the thing is, we set out to come to Tenerife on a day that turned out to be the worst storms in
horrendous.
living history.
So, this was the journey we were planning to take. We would leave Palma in Mallorca,
Yeah.
and we were going to get the fast ferry over to Valencia,
Denia.
which is Denia, yeah,
Denia.
which is about halfway down the east coast of Spain. Then it was a fast ferry, so then we would have a leisurely drive, take in Gibraltar on the way,
Yeah.
a few stop-offs here and there,
Get to
and
Cadiz.
then get to Cadiz with plenty of time to spare to get the ferry down to Tenerife. Didn't quite happen that way, did it? No.
Our original trip to Denia was cut short
It was
because
cancelled because the weather was too bad.
single ship in the fleet was cancelled except one.
Except one normal slow ferry that was going to Barcelona
Transmediterranean.
about 4 or 5 hours later than we were supposed to sail on the fast ferry.
We were supposed to end up in Denia at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We ended up in Barcelona
which is a lot further up Spain.
at about 11 o'clock at night. We then had an 18-hour drive across
Yes.
Oh, by the way, before we
And we
get
didn't
there...
have Google Maps and sat-navs and
No,
everything
before
then.
we get there, we had the most horrendous
Oh my
crossing
god, yeah.
over the Med
Never
from
known anything like
Mallorca.
it. It was horrendous.
There was chairs and tables flying
cups
everywhere.
and saucers
Cups and
flying
saucers.
everywhere. The smell was as well.
Yes, you have to keep up with the Hastings. The smell,
awful.
there was people vomiting everywhere.
Oh.
The ship was literally coming out the water and then bang,
Yeah.
straight onto the...
It was horrendous.
And we arrived
20 years on and we still remember how horrendous that crossing was.
We arrived in Barcelona about 11 o'clock at night, and without a break or anything, we got off the ship with the car and drove from Barcelona right down to Cadiz. We
Yeah.
stopped for
So
maybe
like half an hour power naps every
half
now
hour
and then.
power naps.
Yeah.
Was it an 18-hour drive?
Something like that. And we had every sort of weather phenomenon going.
Every weather phenomenon going.
Hailstones, storms, wind,
Yeah,
rain. It was horrific. It was almost like somebody was telling us not to come here.
It was.
It was that bad.
And we arrived at Cadiz Harbour with just 1.5 hours left to embarkation.
Yeah, and that ferry, back then, it only left once a week.
Once a week. So if we didn't get on
if we'd
that,
have missed it,
we'd have been stuck for a
yeah.
week in Cadiz with no home, no money,
nothing.
a car full of
Yeah.
junk,
Yep.
as it really was. And we did that. Another thing that happened. Oh, Johnny, last watching. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, John.
Thanks for joining us
Yeah,
tonight.
thank
It was
you.
absolutely brilliant. Oh no, it was the worst, Chris Clarkey. It was the worst, really.
It was. It really was.
We drove, and this is not to our credit, to be honest. When we left Mallorca, we weren't very wongered up, were
No,
we? We
no.
didn't have a lot of money, and we drove right across Spain, right down to Cadiz.
You're going to tell them, aren't you?
Yeah, with no car insurance.
How bad is that?
And we watched our wing mirrors and
Yeah.
rear
And
mirrors.
at one point, we had police behind
We
us.
had
didn't
police behind us and
Yeah,
everything.
we were like.
Ooh,
But it was a long time
thing.
ago. And,
But it was a long
yeah.
time ago. We were a bit younger then. We were at least 20 years younger then. And then we got onto the...
I think we got onto that ship and just.
we got
slept.
onto the ship from Cadiz to
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. And it's a 2-day crossing. And we literally slept the
Yeah.
whole day. Now, when we got here, it was quite incredible. Because you've got to imagine we've got a car, a Renault Kangoo.
No, Keith's brothers on.
Oh, hello,
Calvin Lemon.
Calvin.
Hi, Calvin.
We've got a car. It's a Renault. Well, it was a Renault Kangoo at the time, and they're quite big. They're like a small van, right? And we had this thing absolutely crammed, and there was only space for me and you to sit.
Literally, even
And-
the footwell in the passenger seat had stuff
And
in it.
behind our heads was like a wall
Yeah.
of stuff crammed in, just
Yeah.
incredible.
But nobody told us about the
nobody
slip
told
roads on Tenerife motorways.
You see, the thing is, when you come off a slip road in the UK, you indicate, you turn
On
off.
on the edge.
You've
Chris and
got
Kerry, yeah.
You've got a long drive up to the island.
Yeah.
Not here, mate. You get off the motorways, it's almost a U-bend.
It
And
is.
I'll tell you what, right? We came down from Santa Cruz to Los Cristianos. This is our turning. Indicates turn round.
And then,
No
yeah.
slip road. It's a U-bend.
So what do we do?
We went. All the stuff in the car when I was braking, we thought
Started
we're going to be
lurching
buried.
towards us.
And then we got to our apartment, and the apartment we booked once. Well, let's just say it weren't the best, was it?
Andy went, so
Yes.
Sam, you guys need to make a movie about this.
Yeah, and
What
I'll
did
tell
we
you
do?
something else, Wayne. You're right, we was bad, and I wouldn't advise
yeah,
it of
don't do it.
anyone. But you know, when you got no money and you've got to get to your new life, you have to do these things. So we drove across with no insurance, the worst
It was.
med crossing ever.
Yeah. Looking
Uh,
back, it was like somebody somewhere was
No,
saying,
Chris, it
"Don't-
wasn't all
don't
of Hollie's
leave New York
dresses.
here."
I'll tell you what, though.
It was all his tech.
I'll tell you what happened, right? Yes, and shoes. When we got here, it took another 3 months for our belongings to get here from this transport
And by
company.
the time it all came,
Well,
we
the
didn't
thing
really
is,
need
this
it, did we?
transport company, if we'd have been going to the UK, it would have been
Or the
easy.
mainland.
Or the mainland.
But
But
it was-
this is island to
Yeah, it's
island.
because we were going island to island.
And
It
because
took
we'd only
ages,
got
didn't it?
part container, we had to wait for that container to be filled. Now, when it came 3 months later, it was like Christmas, wasn't it?
It filled our spare room, didn't
Fill
it?
the spare room, all these boxes. It was
Yeah.
like Christmas, and we're
was,
opening these
yeah.
boxes going, oh, I've got one of them, right? I go, oh,
Yeah.
I got one of them.
And
Oh,
Facebook Marketplace wasn't around back then.
we rebought
So,
everything.
pretty much,
By the time
pretty
it got
much.
here 3 months later, we could have saved an absolute fortune
Oh, but that journey.
on transport. Oh, it was a
Horrific.
journey.
It
and
was
all.
that
Oh,
journey.
it was an incredible journey. Oh, that sounds like a trip with 2 dogs and a cat, doesn't it?
2 dogs and a cat.
Incredible journey.
Incredible
What a
journey.
great film. But it was interesting. And then we got here. We came here really to solidify our work situation,
because,
and to start a family.
Yeah, because there's no work in Mallorca really in the winter, not for what we.
You get to Mallorca is a fabulous place, but there is only, when we were there, 6 months of work.
Yeah.
And at the end of the season, when I say everything closed down, it was just, you had to experience it, didn't you?
Yeah.
It
like
was
Tenerife
just
now in lockdown, isn't it?
Well, it was like a ghost town.
Yeah.
So we came here to solidify our year-round work situation and to start a family. And we ended up with Jack.
Yeah, and then we ended up with a bar.
And then we ended up with a bar. And then we ended up with lovely friends like you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
keep tuning in to watch our weekly, daily drivel.
Maybe it was worth the journey.
It was. Yeah.
I think so. But we're not doing too bad, really. My drink is going down.
Yeah, mine's gone down dramatically too.
Your coaster is still.
I
Why
know.
doesn't someone invent a coaster
Why do they do that?
that doesn't stick to the bottom of your glass?
Yeah.
There you go. If you want to go to Dragon's Den, get yourself a coaster that doesn't stick to the bottom of the glass. That's my advice, at any rate. Now listen, guys. If you got any more questions, Alan's been in the house for 20 years and there's still a box in the loft that they've never got round to opening.
That's it. When you move.
How did we meet each other?
Let me just say before that, when you move and you unpack things, you always say you unpack your boxes and you think, well, I'll put that there for now and then move it in the future. When it never gets moved in the future, does it? Things always stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, BCM, that was down in Magaluf.
Yeah, down in Magaluf. So how did we meet?
Well, I used to be an entertainer, I used to be a singer, and so did Hollie. And we used to work for the same manager, didn't we?
We did, yes.
A guy called Mike Gerard, who now lives in Thailand.
And he was from Kidderminster.
Yeah. And I had a friend who ran a club who said, Eddie, it's my 50th birthday. I need a show. I want you to be top of the bill. I want a comedian and a girl singer.
A girl.
Right. So I said, leave it with me, Ron. Ron his name, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Leave it with me, Ron. So I put together the show. And there was me, a comedian called Glenn Fiddick.
Yep.
And I phoned my manager, who managed us both at the time. And I says, Mike, I need a girl singer. I says, now don't send me any rubbish. Because if you do, I'm not going to pay her. And he said, well, there's no need to be like that, Ed. I said, well, the last one you sent me, Mike, was absolute crap. I said, she emptied the place. So guess who he sent? And it was a place called the Nechel's Unionist Club.
Working Men's Club.
Now,
God, it was a nightmare to find.
Yeah, but at the time, my light stage was like 26 foot across the stage, wasn't it?
Yeah, your brother used to
and
do
my
the
brother
lights,
Willie, Craig, he used to do the lights, he used to do the lighting for the show and everything. And then she turned up to do this show, and she looked at the light show and thought, oh, this is a proper job, innit?
Proper.
Right? And then she looked at me and thought, yeah. But
with your long hair.
Yeah,
your long hair and your yellow jacket, yeah.
Hair down here, yellow jacket,
yes.
black polo neck. But you'd only ever worked with, shall we call them fuddy-duddies?
Yeah.
Up to that point. So there's me.
Fuddy-duddies, I've not heard that word for ages.
Yeah, but there's me. I've got a big old light show. I know, I bet you've heard it.
I felt like I was on
before.
top of the pops with smoke and everything, didn't you?
Great. We had smoke and lasers and follow spots, and it was a great show, wasn't it?
It was a really good show.
And it wasn't me that won her over. No, it wasn't enchantment under the sea dance. I didn't disappear as I was playing guitar, thank you. Any vintage photos?
I'll see what I can dig out.
Yeah, there's a few there.
There's a few.
Yes, Rob, it was Nechel's Unionist.
Yes.
And then...
By the hospital, what's the hospital called?
I can't remember. But it's there anyway.
It's there,
and then... sadly,
I'll put one on Facebook, Linda.
I have to say, after that show, we started phoning each other in clandestinely.
I took you to an audition at Alton Towers, didn't I?
Yeah.
I nearly killed you.
Yeah. Because she was with someone, I was with someone. Yeah. And then we decided we wanted to get together, so we ditched our respectives and moved
into a caravan in Burnham-on-Sea.
But the thing is, right, we moved into this caravan in Burnham-on-Sea. We lived together from day one. We've spent 24 hours a day together for the last 22 years.
And we ain't killed each other
And
yet.
we ain't killed each other, so we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Now, going on to this guy who booked us in the very first instance, he went on to run a club in a place called Rowington.
In Warwickshire.
In Warwickshire, Rowington Working Men's Club. And he turned round to us the one night and he says, listen, it's New Year's Eve coming up. It's 1999. He said, it's the turn of the century. He said, I want the best show I can get. He said, and the best show I think I can get is you and Hollie. And we sat there and says, all right. He says, he said, how much are you going to charge me? And me and her looked at each other and says, well, I'll tell you what, Ron. How about £1 a year? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, it's 1999. How about £1,999? He said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll pay you 2,000. And we says, done. He says, he shook our hands and said, great. He said, I was going to offer you 3. So we lost £1,000.
Yeah.
We gained 2,000.
But as it was on New Year's Eve Millennium, because everybody was charging like stupid money to get into places, everybody kind of planned their own parties and bought all the booze in, didn't they? So,
nobody turned up.
Well, there just wasn't that many there, was there?
Fortunately, our manager had signed it so that if they didn't cancel by June the 1st,
It was contractually
obliged. So we got the £2,000, we sang to no one, we had a great night, we went home early, and that was probably one of the best dinners we had at the time, 20 years ago. I'll tell you what, when you go and watch Johnny Laugh tomorrow at 2:15, there's a man with stories. He's worked with some of the best people in the world. So listen, guys, it's 4 minutes. I don't know where this hour has gone.
There's still lots we can tell you that we'll save for next week of all the stories in Mallorca about the car setting on fire in the garage.
Yeah, there's loads we can tell you. It's been a brilliant hour. I don't know where it's gone. This question is just for you. Have you ever worn
a mankini?
A mankini? No, I've never worn a mankini. No, I've never worn a mankini. I mean, I know the shape of a mankini, I just don't think they're big enough. No, I haven't.
Spat my gin out there.
No, I haven't, Wayne, honestly. Caravan Mister... but you know something, Andy, I'll tell you, to be honest...
It was bloody freezing in the winter, Andy, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you what, Andy, right, I'll be totally honest with you. We have lived together 24/7 from day one. So lockdown to us.
Yeah.
We just do it, don't we?
But it was because I was working at a holiday park and it was basically my accommodation. So you just moved in, didn't you?
I did have permission.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
Guys, we've been here for an hour.
What are the coastal? We haven't done the coastal walk yet because apparently we can't drive yet to exercise. So if we wanted to do the coastal walk, we'd have to walk from where we live, and we just haven't. We will get round to it. We'll film it when we do.
We've got lots of things to do.
Love the coastal
People have asked us to film the coastal path at Crab Island,
and they've asked us to do the walk that we
did before to see the difference. So we will get round to it. We'll do it all.
Yeah, we will.
Do you know, I have no idea where this hour's gone.
Thanks, Jane.
It's been a great hour. We love talking to you. We'd like to say many, many thanks to our friend Johnny Laugh. Go and see him on his page, Johnny Laugh. We will post the page on our site.
And if we're at home, we'll do a watch party as well.
Yeah, we'll do a watch party. Was it 2:15?
2:15.
2:15.
Yeah. Chances are we will be home.
I'm going to invite you to a quiz tomorrow, darling.
Are you?
I'm not going to say no
Have
more.
we got to ask the questions?
No, we're doing the quiz.
What are we doing the quiz?
Oh, it's a family quiz. We can't say. It's a private thing.
Okay.
But
Thanks,
it's lovely to be invited.
It is good to be
Guys,
invited,
it's been a pleasure to have your company for the last hour. We will do CuaranChat next Friday.
Yeah, we will, yeah.
We've got Glam Up Saturday coming tomorrow.
We've got quiz on Sunday. We've got CuaranSing on Monday, so...
And we are still posting as much stuff onto YouTube as we can. So keep subscribing
thanks, Darren.
to YouTube.
Thanks, Maureen. Thanks, Alan.
And we will see you what is it? Friday, Saturday,
Sunday, yeah.
Monday,
You know,
and then we'll have a day off.
You'll be fed up of us.
Chris, take care. Good night, Linda.
Thanks,
be good.
Chris.
Can you have Jack on next time? I'd like to get Jack to do more on here, but you know, he's a gamer. He likes playing games.
He is.
So if you've got any
Thanks,
more
Gwen.
questions that you'd like to ask us, feel free. We're very open people.
We are, yeah.
And we'll tell you everything we know. Rob Taverner's an interesting guy. I'm gonna get a phone call with him. Rob, would you be up for a phone call next week? And we can talk about Mad Chat. Is
That's
that
good
all
to
right?
get Chris on and talk about the 60s bar in the garden.
Yeah, Chris, if you'd like to join us and talk about 60s bar, it'd be great. Andy, take care. I've got your film. I'm still putting it together. If anybody else wants to join in, I'll put another link on. It'll be brilliant. Guys,
Thanks, Sue.
don't forget our hashtags. Hashtag be safe.
Hashtag ride the storm.
And we'll see you tomorrow
We will.
for Glam Up Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.